should tell you that I have been in communication with somebody in Daniel Smith's office. Uh, and they told me that they are watching what's unfolding here at the ostrich farm very closely.
Good.
And she and Doug Ford, of all people, were at a joint press conference where they spoke out against the culling of the ostriches. Maybe Olivia can show that. I haven't watched it yet. I just saw that it had happened during the break. And if Olivia can cue that up, we can all watch and react together.
Hi, Mickey here with Politico. This question is for Smith and Ford. I was speaking with John Katsimatidis regarding the ostrich situation in BC. He had a meeting yesterday with RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz on this matter. He essentially wants the PM to intervene in the case, and he said that he's spoken to both of you on this issue as well. Will you be applying pressure to the PM on this? And do either of you have any issues or any concerns about the federal government's treatment of farmers, particularly in this case?
Well, I have asked my agriculture minister to look into it to see if we had a similar situation in Alberta, what would we be able to do differently? And one of the things that I think is worth looking at is when avian flu went through that herd, it did kill 20% of them, but it didn't kill 80% of them. So maybe there is something to learn from whether there's an immunity or some kind of vaccine that could be developed as a result of having that flock survive. I think that maybe we have to think about different ways to do animal husbandry and animal safety, and why not try a different approach? So I'm open-minded to see if there's any persuasion on that. I gather that the U.S. government is interested in partnering with BC if they wanted to do that. I'd be supportive of that because you can see that this case has really taken on a lot of public sentiment behind it. And if we can find a better way than doing mass culls in any situation like this, I think it's probably worth it to try to find a better way to do it. I don't know if you've got a thought.
Yeah, no, I've talked to John many times about these ostriches. I'm an animal lover, full disclosure, and I want to do everything I can to help him. I think he had a plan to bring him down to Florida as well, and to a sanctuary down there. So anything John needs, I'm always there to support him. He's a good man. He cares for animals, and he puts his money where his mouth is, too, when it comes to making sure that he protects all animals. So, thank you.
Kind of surprised Scott Moe didn't have anything to say there.
Specifically, he wasn't asked. Like the question was poised to.
Fair enough.
Well, I kept an eye on him, and his responses, although not verbal, were still appropriate. So yes, it would be nice though to hear one of these people to be on side the farmers. You know what I mean? Like I know that the animals are important, but we need somebody speaking up for farmers in this moment. And where is our agriculture, our federal ag minister? Well, he's highfalutin in the Ottawa bubble right now. He's too busy. They're much too busy to deal with little matters like this that have been dragging on for the last 8 months.
Yes.
It's the so-called progressive conservative who has said something before the leader of the opposition of the Conservative Party at the federal level. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Yeah. I don't think it's possible to come back from this. My joke is that politics is business. If anybody wanted to vie for the leadership of the Conservative Party, all they have to do now is grab a bullhorn, get out to Edgewood, and stand with the people and demand that they not go through with this call. That's all they have to do. Then I don't know how the mechanics work. They'll have a leadership race. That will be the actual leader of the actual opposition of a so-called Conservative Party.
The ostriches are the litmus test for the Conservative Party, is what you're saying, Viva.
Do you know what? That's a great point, because you know what was a litmus test for the Conservative Party leadership before? The truckers.
Agreed.
Right?
Oh,
right?
Agreed, Sheila Gunn Reid, when you think about it. Sure, because we were suffering under Aaron O'Toole. What do you call him, Sheila Gunn Reid? A vanilla? No,
vegetable lasagna.
Vegetable lasagna of a Conservative. And Pierre Poilievre showed up to support the truckers in person. And guess who became the leader of the Conservative Party? Pierre Poilievre. We need to see this same Pierre Poilievre emerge onside these farmers in Edgewood, BC in this moment. Not whatever they're concentrating on in Ottawa or whatever they think is important today there.
Well, but My strategy might not be the best to manipulate the behavior that we would want out of Pierre, but I sincerely think it's too late for Pierre. Like this is reputationally unsalvageable damage that he's done for no better reason. What I would love to imagine is that there are other politically savvy and politically ambitious people within the Conservative Party that were saying, I don't want to embarrass Pierre. I'll give him his window to do the right thing and say the right thing now that he hasn't done it. And now that everyone in the base is pissed, and I mean everyone, well, now, hey, I'm sorry, Pierre, you had your chance to be the hero and you balked. Now, maybe if Roman Baber comes up and says, this is what we need to do.
I'm so happy you mentioned it, Viva, because all of the conservative bro friends, like our little cozy group of conservative bro friends, are all screaming at the top of their lungs at Pierre Poilievre to say something, to do something, to get involved in this moment. And this could be a moment where he could see some of that base just peel off to the side, going, well, maybe he's not our guy after all. Like that's a real danger for him right now.
I don't know if you guys know who Pleb the reporter is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Inadvertently, or I would say just maybe accidentally, ratioed Pierre so hard yesterday on one of Pierre's posts where Pierre puts up a rant. I think it was about the gun confiscation ban. And Pleb replies, read the room. This is not what conservatives are concerned with on this particular day. He ratioed him by a factor of 2 to 1. And that's Pleb. That's the man who people were accusing of being on Pierre's payroll during the election. I'm not making that accusation. Yeah. He was a true believer during the election and was truly disappointed. We had fights during the election because he said, Viva, you're not helping. I'm like, first of all, if they follow my advice during the election, it would help, but they didn't, and they suffered the consequences. He got ratioed by Pleb, and it was humiliating. So I think it's too late.
Well, and here's the thing. You're allowed to tweet out 2 things on a day, right? Like you can send out strong messaging on the gun grab. I care deeply about that. But I am also a farmer. I care about this. I care about property rights. I care about government overreach. I care about a return to science and reality. And the Liberals have been anti-science, anti-property rights, and anti-reality for 5 long years with very little opposition. And so, he could have come out real strong on the gun grab and then real strong on the ostriches.
Yes.
I mean, this has been a crazy 24 hours at the ostrich farm. Like crazy. I don't know if you guys want a recap of just what happened.
Yes, we absolutely,
24 hours,
we do.
like 20 hours.